Tonight on Red Eye.
Coming up on Red Eye, how long did it take Lou Dobbs to pick up snowboarding? Our cameras were there as the world's most electrifying newsman tried the sport for the very first time. Plus, is the vice president just now realizing that I comes before E except after C?
Since when? It's a bunch of malarkey. It's nothing further from the truth.
And finally, a goat with a life-threatening potato chip addiction. We've got the intervention everyone's going to be talking about next. None of these stories on Red Eye tonight.
And now, let's welcome our guest. She's hotter than a fireball and just as popular with frat guys. I'm here tonight with Joanne Nosuchinsky. Well, he's the stud from Chud, the legendary performer from Cannibalistic Humanoid Underground Dwellers. It's the great actor Greg Beckel. He was also Chris Morgan from All My Children. I remembered him because every day I watched him during college. And he stinks of sadness and lavender. It's TV's lot lizard, Andy Levy. And he has more slips of the tongue than a closet at a 7th grade party. Sitting right next to me is Graham's brother, Bob Beckel, USA Today columnist, and one of my favorite co-hosts on The Five. One of the top 5.
A-Block, the lead. That's the first story.
It's a level of savagery from a savage group of savages. On Tuesday, ISIS released a video showing the execution of a Jordanian pilot by burning him alive. This is going to be tough. First Lieutenant Muaz Al-Kasasbi was captured after his fighter jet was shot down over northern Syria. The sickening video begins with propaganda images of buildings turned to rubble by U.S.-led airstrikes against the Islamic terrorists. Then, the hostage appears inside a cage, drenched in a flammable liquid. A masked militant uses a torch to set him on fire. President Obama called the execution one more indication of the barbarity of ISIS, as if we need it.
I think we'll redouble the vigilance and determination on the part of a global coalition to make sure that they are degraded and ultimately defeated. And it also just indicates the degree to which whatever ideology they're operating off of, it's bankrupt.
Whatever ideology I don't know what they could be talking about. I don't know. What could it be, Graham? Whatever ideology.
Well, if the all-knowing, omnipotent president doesn't know, then no one does.
That's true.
You know, it's so disturbing. Even Jefferson, who I didn't like because he made a deal with the French for Louisiana. I'm that kind of conservative. You know, I objected not only to the Louisiana Purchase, but to the, you know, the imperialistic attack on the Barbary pirates. But at least Jefferson had a point of view. I'm not so sure that this guy isn't dried out booty from that campaign.
I don't even know how to respond. Bob, he's your brother. You feel free to respond.
Well, first of all, I covered the Jefferson campaign, and I resent that. None of that happened. And I was also on one of those Barbary pirate ships. And of course, I was with the woman who was cooking and down below. But anyway, listen. Look, I got to defend. I say this all the time.
Yeah.
I always have to defend. I'm not going to do it tonight. I'm on Red Eye. My butt hurts like hell. I stayed here only because Greg asked me to do it, and frankly, I hope the show works out well because I hurt, but I'm happy to say I ain't defending Obama tonight. Impeach him.
There you go. Yes. But I know, hey, Graham, I know how Bob feels about this this topic of ISIS. He's been very strong on it. What would you know? We keep hearing about a new low in humanity. What are we supposed to do? If you were president, what would you do?
What a thought.
Yeah.
Slow pan.
Yes.
2 Graham.
I would simply stick a bayonet between my brother's teeth and throw him out of an airplane 10,000 feet above them.
Really?
Yes. He'd float down and dispatch every last one of them because he's that kind of a guy.
To be fair, that's your solution for everything.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting everybody says this about ISIS. We got them all at the same place at one time. So we have our colleague, Eric, always says, well, why don't we nuke them? Well, Eric, there's a little problem with that, and that's nuclear dust. You know, you'll wipe out all India. Now, maybe some people won't mind that. If it was blowing northeast towards France, that wouldn't bother me that much. But you can't you got to go fight them, you know, and
That's the point. You have to go down there, right?
well, yeah, well, you're the one who wants to put boots on the ground. You're the only one.
I'm not the only one. I'm just the only one who thinks that that's an
Well,
inevitability.
you're actually one of the few people. But listen, you know I've been strong on this
Yeah.
from the very beginning. I was the one who said fatwa this,
Yeah.
and somebody sold all of the mugs with my picture on it and made $8,000. Son of a bitch, wherever you are, give me half of it at least.
That was Kimberly.
Was it Kimberly?
Yes.
But you know, these guys do more to galvanize the world against them. I mean, it's I don't know what I'm trying to get across, but Andy's one of them. So why don't we ask him?
Yeah, Andy, is it true? Do you honestly believe that? Do you believe this is galvanizing the world? I have a theory that all this stuff blows over every week because a new outrage comes along. We all say it's terrible, and then we just move on and we don't care.
The key is it galvanizing that part of the world?
Yeah.
And, you know, we were watching earlier, there were scenes in Jordan of people very unhappy with ISIS.
Yeah.
I think the more we see Muslim countries unhappy with ISIS, the better off we are.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm with the president, though. I'm stumped as to what the ideology is. I just know that this workplace violence is getting out of hand.
That's
Yeah.
true.
And it's like beheading wasn't enough anymore, so now they have to burn people alive. They're like the Transformers movies of terrorist groups.
Yeah,
It's like every sequel has to be bigger and dumber.
Yeah.
I actually agree with you about the inevitability of us having boots on the ground. I think 100% we are going to.
That's it. I mean, I talk to guys in the military. They're saying like, this is that's what they want, and you almost have to give them what they want. Sadly, Joanne, talked about this earlier. I'm not sure we should be showing the videos or even talking about them because I feel like we're doing their PR work. Are we?
Listen, if we stopped showing these videos, they won't stop killing.
Yeah.
That's not a part of their ideology. They're going to continue to do this because they have no sort of idea of what it is to be human. They are inhuman and they need to be annihilated. And I usually don't like to say that because I'm all about world peace and all that great stuff, but they don't respond to that. Terrorists, I do not believe these ones especially can be rehabilitated.
So if you were in running for, well, let's say because you were Miss New York and you were running for Miss USA, would you have said that answer?
No, I would say we do not negotiate with terrorists or do tradesies.
Okay.
You know, I'll tell you though, it's one thing. Andy's a good point here. This guy who was set on fire, his father is one of the top and the largest tribe in Jordan, and they don't forget.
Yeah. However, though, his dad said it wasn't.
Yeah, but he was grieving at that
Yeah.
point. His uncles didn't say that, I'll bet
Yeah.
you.
Well, I don't know. They said they're going to start executing people, so maybe they will.
Well,
Why don't we change the name of the group for them? Just call them the Piss Ants. No, seriously, how do you say piss ant in Arabic and call them that?
Yeah.
Why are we even calling them by their name?
That's true. Why do we acknowledge
I don't get it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Never
they
mind.
keep changing it for everybody. They keep saying we were ISIS, now we're, what is it?
IS or ISIL.
IS, and then they're ASS.
Yeah.
Yeah, they-
And somebody pick up the rest of that?
Yeah.
No, yeah, I mean, everybody's, because people are scared of them.
Yeah.
I mean, people are frightened of them.
Yeah.
People are frightened to stand around me, well, for a lot of reasons, for diseases or others. But because I started dumping on these guys, people sort of stay away because they think there's going to be somebody with a bomb
We see a little red dot running around you, like from a laser point. We know to run. All right, we're going to move on. Should we place a levy on the heavy? Jonathan Gruber, the architect, contractor, and interior decorator of Obamacare, once suggested that a tax on fat people might be needed to curb their appetites. In an essay titled "Taxing Sin to Modify Behavior and Raise Revenue," the professor/rapper wrote, ultimately, what may be needed to address the obesity problem are direct taxes on body weight. Adding such taxation may be happening indirectly through health insurance surcharges. Gruber explained that the new law he was helping to write would allow employers to charge higher premiums for employers failing to meet a healthy body weight. And he pointed out that many of our nation's turtles can't even fit through the door. Can't get through that. He's not going to pay his taxes. He's not going to get to the post office. Graham, taxing fat people make sense? Not make sense?
Only in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and on Pennsylvania Avenue.
Yeah.
That's it. Now, who is this? You know, there was a guy I knew from New Orleans, and you know, Hollywood. It became very popular during the '80s, early '80s, to go to New Orleans to Mardi Gras. And his aunt was an elderly woman, and all these people had crashed. All these Hollywood people had crashed the party. this crew party, and he suddenly heard her say from across the room, "Hudson, who are all these people?" And that's the same way I feel about Obama and this series of clowns around him. I don't... God, he's like a...
Ah, come on, man.
Please.
How do you say that?
I mean, it's just, listen to this crap all the time. I mean, whatever. Let's please not talk about immigration. He's my caretaker right now. I need him.
Immigration.
First of all, he doesn't understand that Obama will go down as one of the great economic presidents of all time, and Obamacare will save a lot of people's lives. So there you go. I bet that eats you up, doesn't it? You still think? Wait a minute. Excuse me. I'm getting the. That was well done. Anyway, that's what you just.
Do you think about Gruber taxing fat people?
I think Gruber, they ought to tax idiots, and then Gruber would get a lot of money off that. Fat people, I'm a fat person, and if you want to tax me for my weight, all I can say is.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
What does that mean?
You don't know what that means? You don't? Miss New York? Are you kidding? You've been to Little Italy?
Is that Spanish?
Yes, sweetie, it's Spanish. That's right. No, it's Italian for... Never mind.
That's the fourth never mind we got from Bob.
Well, it's because every time I say something, I always swear, and then I get called upstairs. I mean, I've used the F word 4 times now, and I've had the same walk down to the boss's office, like dead man walking. You know, I mean, so I'm not going to run my luck any further. I got a good job.
You've got a dead man walker.
Hey, listen, ass. I came here because I love you. I'm on the show. I'm about half dead, so don't do. I still got something left in me, which is my walker wrapped around your head. Let's go.
You should have your own line of walkers, man.
Hey,
I don't know, you get these little
walk this,
Obama doodles on it.
You know what? The government will pay for it.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe
It's
Hillary
wonderful.
could borrow it.
Andy, would this work, this tax?
I don't know why anyone's surprised that a guy who thinks most people are stupid and that government mandates are the key to a healthy society thinks directly taxing body weight might ultimately be necessary. Of course that's what they think.
Yeah.
Anybody, if you're favoring the government, and we've talked about this for years.
Yeah.
Like as soon as the government is in charge of health care, that's what's going to happen. So what'd you expect?
What did you expect?
That's
Joanne,
what you get.
we know about 10 to 15 pounds overweight. Let's just talk about it now. It's terrible.
This is incentive.
Yes.
For me, this tax is incentive for me to lose weight because I don't want to be shamed at work.
Yes.
For being overweight and causing my employers this extra tax.
That's true.
You know what? While we're at it, let's just go ahead and tax salt, corn syrup, and fillers, because that's really what makes people fat. Am I right? Am I right? All that processed food that tastes so good.
You people don't really. I mean, listen. You got low for people who are like me, who are handicapped for the moment. You have low sinks. The government got that in. Greg uses them all the time. That's true. And you know, this is important in the Americans with Disability Act. Look, government does a lot of good things. They really do. Some things not well, but most things, I think. You want to try it without air traffic controllers? You want to try it without border patrol people? You guys keep dumping all over the government, and yet you use all their services.
Well, wait a minute. We're talking about taxing
I
fat
was talking
people.
about yodels and ding dongs, but okay.
You ever use food stamps, didn't you? You were an actor. You had to use food stamps, right?
Oh, screw off.
You should have seen it at home when we were kids. You got that picture of him on Chud? This will tell you everything. You know, this is what I used to look at every time in the morning. He doesn't change. You got that picture? No, you don't?
We're going to show it in the next vlog.
This is the best SNL sketch I've ever seen.
It really is.
Amazing.
Do we have time to go to the next story? All right, they're running to their graves. A new study suggests that too much jogging could be as bad for you as sitting on your lazy ass and doing nothing at all. It's the subject of tonight's...
Ha ha.
Yeah. Danish researchers, must be nice, found that obsessive runners were as likely to die as couch potatoes, a term I just coined. Light joggers had the lowest death rates living for 10 million years. The study concluded that jogging 3 times a week for 20 to 45 minutes is optimal. Anything more or less, and you will die by the end of the month. It was in the study. Speaking of exercising wrong. That's how dryers work, Joanne.
I don't think
That's how dryers work.
I don't think that's wrong, by the way. That's an upper body workout.
It really is. It really is. Richard Gere
No, it's really
has
not.
mentioned that many times. Bob, you must feel vindicated as somebody that believes that running is evil.
The exercise is evil. I mean, look, I had the exercise, mandatory exercise, when I was in high school and college, and I said when I got done with it, I said never again. And look at me, I'm a cripple. No, but I mean, but I think the idea of running, why run when you could drive?
That's true. That's right. You should only be running if you're being chased. Graham, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are Dr. Jonathan Miller's, who said years ago that the amount of time you spend jogging, the amount of time that jogging adds to your life is directly proportional to the amount of time you spend jogging.
That's true.
Was that clear?
Yeah, no,
Sorry.
that's absolutely true.
And it is true. It's a waste of, well, I'm sorry. It's very good, I'm sure.
I like it. You know what? You know how you know?
Tell Jim Fix's relatives that.
But I can always tell how you guys are related because whatever you're about to say next, you cut it off and go, never mind, or I'm sorry.
Well,
that's because we get in trouble all the time, man.
That's so funny.
Even on this show.
No, I don't care.
You can say whatever you want, man. You're leaving here. I got to sit here and work here.
But did you ever see Dr. Miller in the Body Human?
No.
Well, you should get it and look at it. And he's, he was on top of all of this stuff.
Yeah.
Dr. Jonathan Miller.
I will. I'll look
Is he
it up.
still alive? I don't know.
I've never heard of him.
I never heard of him either.
I think I know I think I could see him. He had a lot of documentaries, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of remember him. PBS stuff.
Yeah, British man.
British guy.
Yeah,
I remember that. See?
Yeah,
There
Me
you
too,
go.
yeah.
Joanne, you weren't even born. It was in the
Okay.
50s.
He also directed opera.
Oh, wow. There you go.
And I'm all for
He
it.
must have been right on top of things. British. Have you ever thought about this? The British built a tunnel to the French. I mean, after they tried to kill them off for 2,000 years, they built a friggin' tunnel. What's that all about?
I have no idea.
The only good news was the French tunnel was 6 inches off when they met in the middle.
God. What do you, Joanne, thoughts on the running?
Oh, I don't run. I fractured my hip jogging, so I don't jog anymore.
Oh, really? Well, how do you stay in shape?
I actually use kettlebells.
Oh, really? That's
No, it's just funny that they say jogging is extreme exercise. Really, they're attacking the joggers and not the CrossFitters.
Yeah.
Let's get our priorities straight.
That is true. CrossFitters are terrible, Andy.
Awful.
Yeah, I also use kettle corn to exercise. I'm assuming the hardcore joggers either died of boredom,
Yes.
or they were all murdered because they wouldn't shut up about jogging, because that's what they do. They just talk about jogging nonstop. But look, yeah, too much of anything is bad for you. There are studies now that say even too much smoking will kill you, Greg.
Really?
So this does not surprise me at all. It's just, it just makes perfect sense.
You know what? I worked at Rodale, so I worked with the staff at Runner's World. They were not happy, most of them. They were miserable.
no.
And the reason why is because they always had to lengthen their run. Because if you ran like 7 miles one day, you should do 7.1, or else you're not moving
were
ahead.
with Runner's World? Did
Yeah,
you
I
ever
used to
run?
write for them.
Well, you know what E.L. Doctorow said about this?
No.
Well, yeah. In a play called Drinks Before Dinner, once again in the early 80s, when everybody first started running around the park, he said, really the reason they're doing that is because they know subconsciously the world is coming to an end. So they're all running for their lives.
And he's ready to drink.
My references.
I like that.
I get him, bro.
I like a good E.L.
Don't let
Doctorow
these young
reference.
people get
like
upset you here. They're just... Well,
All
never
right.
mind.
All right, I'm going to take a break. We come back, we're going to talk about Hollywood. And we're also going to talk about TV's hottest new courtroom drama, Beckel and Beckel. SVU CSI. It can't be as good as this. But first. Does Hollywood have a white guilt problem? If white guilt is code for cocaine, then sure, why not? Disgusting. All right, do they prefer blacks on their backs? Selma star David Oyelowo says that when it comes to white Hollywood, the answer is yes. Speaking at a film festival where he was one of 7 people being honored, Oyelowo said that Hollywood gives awards to black actors, quote, more for when we are subservient, when we are not being leaders or kings or being at the center of our own narrative. And Oyelowo, is that how I'm saying it, Andy? Oyelowo, who many feel was snubbed by the Oscars for his portrayal of Martin Luther King, gave his take on why Hollywood tells black stories through the eyes of a white protagonist.
There is a fear of white guilt So you have a very nice white person who holds black people's hands through their own narrative. And then you don't want black people to be, we don't want to see that pain again, so you don't really go into what that pain was in an authentic way. Both of those things are patronizing to the audience.
Or not, sure.
For more, let's go to Red Eye's race relations expert. He's fine. I hope there's another video coming soon that shows him frolicking. All right, Graham, you are a Hollywood big shot. I could name all of your movies, but I'd rather hear your opinion on Oh Yellow O.
Mr. O'Yellow. Dig it, man. Here's the truth. We Americans do not dig British actors playing our heroic icons. You got it? You're a very good actor. You're a very fine actor. I know you did Henry VI with the RSC. No one's doubting that. But we like American actors to play these parts because there are certain subtleties involved that might make you get nominated for a damn Academy Award.
Well, there you go. That was well done. But my thought about it. Listen to it.
Did you mean a yellow or your brother?
Well, hey, I already did that to him. Are you kidding me? I don't know who this dude is, but that's not the point. He sounds like some.
He's British.
I know what he is.
He sounds like a British
I
person.
generally like the British, but I don't know what his persuasion is. It's fine with me, but he shouldn't be playing straight black Americans.
What? All right. Graham, when you were in Chud,
Yeah.
did you run into issues like this at all?
It was a continual struggle.
That's it for you.
It was,
Yes.
and I have never forgiven the Academy for not acknowledging the character of Val in Chud. It's been overlooked for many, many years, and I'm
Is
still...
that you? Oh, you God.
No, I'm feeling it. Where?
Oh, that's you.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, no.
That's what you like when you were 6.
What do you want to know about Chud?
People ask you about Chud a lot, huh?
Sometimes they do, yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't bother you?
Not really. Bruce Robinson, they keep asking about Withnail and I. One of my favorite films.
That's one of the great movies with Richard Grant. Is that his name?
Yeah. And British film, and David might have worked in very well there. But anyway, they said, "What's it like, man?" You get this retrospective of the photography from the movie. He said, it's really like walking around with a colostomy bag.
Wow.
I can't get rid of it.
Wow.
Well, no, but it's so Chud's kind of the same way. I can't. I'll never get over it.
The only thing I discovered ever since Greg started talking about this, I remember you sort of did something like this. There's a following for this. Think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Who would follow something like that?
I have no idea.
I don't either, except Greg.
Greg was interested. I was like, he likes to keep his fingertips on the pulse of popular culture.
Sure, which is in the subway system in New York.
Well, that's all right. I mean,
Don't touch the subway system. Don't put your fingers on
I don't get into
that.
it. I'm one of those liberals that flies first class. I don't go in subways.
I was with Tommy Lee Jones in the subway one night.
And what happened?
He was actually very interested. He needed to urinate. And he started walking into the men's room. It was really late, and I said, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, cowboy! No, don't do that." I can't tell this story.
Oh, yes, you.
All right,
Go ahead, tell it, man.
the decision was made to relieve the bladder in a different direction within the confines of the subway network, and before we knew it, Mr. Jones was up against the wall in handcuffs.
Wow.
What happened to you?
Declaring his innocence. I didn't have nothing to do with it. I was an innocent bystander.
Well, okay.
What year was this?
This is 1975,
I wanted so badly for it to be 2014.
74.
I know. It was 3 months ago.
Andy, are you feeling a little bit young here today? Both of you must be, aren't you?
No, I feel fine.
You do?
Yeah.
You don't look fine, but you feel
Well,
fine.
that's the whole.
No, that's right. You've had problems.
Now, you see, Jones is one of my favorite actors. He's
Yeah.
a terrifically talented guy and a very good director as well.
Mm-hmm.
And
Al Gore's roommate in college. Do you remember that?
no one's perfect. And I'd like to see him do a show with David. David.
A yellow yo.
Yeah.
A yellow yo.
A yellow yo.
You're an actress, I believe. Thoughts?
She was great on New Year's Eve. I
Yeah.
thought.
Thank
She was
you. Thank you
wonderful.
so much.
You're
It's
very
really
welcome.
nice. No one else has told me that, Greg. No, listen, I feel ya, oh yellow O.
Yeah.
Some of us women, okay, we get naked for roles thinking we're gonna win awards.
Yes, that's-
and we don't.
Yeah.
And by we, I mean the one I hate the most, Anne Hathaway,
Right.
who thought she was gonna get an award for that movie where she was drugged and naked.
Naked, yeah.
Like she was like addicted
Don't
to
say
something.
anything lousy about Anne
You just
Hathaway.
started it. Yeah, and that you've done.
I'm just
as
highly
soon as that
jealous
came
of
out
her
of your
career.
mouth, I said, "Here we are." He's a big Anne Hathaway fan.
Oh, you
He used to sleep with her, and that's
What?
Oh, did you? Oh,
How
I'm sorry.
dare you?
Are you? I thought you did.
Who are you, man?
Well, we're out of the same bloodstream.
No, man, that's like so inappropriate.
I'm inappropriate.
Yes, you're
and you were in
inappropriate.
charge, and that's inappropriate.
No, that's just bad choice and a sorry career. That is inappropriate.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. I haven't done these movies before, but I make a hell of a lot more money than you two talking in the afternoon. Right?
I'm going to take a break.
Why?
Because we're running out of time.
cares?
It's 2 seconds. He'll likely see hell before a wedding bell. 80-year-old pile of human garbage known as Charles Manson won't be able to marry his lovely 27-year-old fiancée because their marriage license is set to expire. The convicted mass murderer, and I guess her name is Afton Elaine Burton, seen here, applied for a marriage license in November, but because visitors are only allowed on weekends at Corcoran State Prison, they won't be able to marry before it expires this Thursday. It's a shame. Burton apparently wanted to wed the psychopath so she could work on his case. Also, she's dumb and stupid. Manson's been in prison since '71 after his followers killed actress Sharon Tate, and several others in 1969. All right.
She must have had a great childhood, that woman.
Yeah, her parents must be really proud.
Oh, yeah.
What would happen if your daughter decided to marry a serial killer?
Well, fortunately, I keep my fingers crossed. But some people thought she had a serial killer for an uncle, but no. Listen, I mean, who would do this? People do this all over the country. You know, they find these people on death row, and if the guy had $1 billion, you say, okay, fine, I'll marry the son of a bitch, and then when he dies, I get rich.
Yeah.
And they can't even have conjugal. Can you imagine a conjugal visit between those two? Oh my God. Let's go back to Chud.
Yeah, Graham.
You know, it's interesting because I'm doing a recurring part in a new television serial on NBC, which will begin airing in June or January. June.
Yeah.
And it's in part about Mr. Manson. And,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's really weird. I think Charlie is weird. I think the girl is weird. And I don't understand why they just don't kill him.
Yeah, that's the problem.
I would just put this sorry son bitch out of his...
You don't play with Manson, do you?
What?
I'm sorry, you said it was about Charlie Manson. You never told me. You never tell me when you do these things. Once in a while, I'll go to a movie theater when I can see past all the baseball caps turned sideways and the pants falling down and people yelling and texting. And I'm in there one night and I see you on the screen. You don't ever tell me you're in these things. So what do you got to know? I don't know. You say you were Charlie Manson? You have a sort of strange resemblance, and I thought that maybe. All right, man, I'm sorry. Don't get it. I mean, you got to make sure I get home and get to bed, so I'll take it back. I apologize. I'm not going to apologize to that son bitch in Britain, but I'll apologize.
You know, the problem was, I will accuse the Academy of Motion Arts and Pictures, the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, of being tendentious towards Brokeback Mountain.
Right. You were in Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah, and I think that was very real as opposed to any racial element at the Academy. However, I think if you and David Owoyoyolello were to do a remake of Brokeback Mountain, man, that would be hot. And here's our latest Academy card. Don't be too blown away by this, but you see...
It gets you into a Best Western.
Yeah, it gets me into a Best Western.
762.
There's black, but there's no white.
Yeah, that's true.
It's true.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyway, let's get off
quarter
the
things in the beds. No, so I think those were great.
All right. So what do you know, Joanne, you're single. Have you thought about perhaps marrying Manson for the inevitable book deal?
Yeah, who do you think paid off this woman to get cold feet? Hey. Listen, I think that he really wanted to provide for her.
Yes.
And he realized he just couldn't.
Yeah.
So he had to let her go.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It wouldn't be fair.
That's so romantic.
I know.
Yeah, it is.
My cold heart is melting.
Very slowly.
Yeah.
Andy, what do you make of this sad, sad story?
I've forgotten how to talk. Honestly, this story surprises me that they let the wedding license expire. I feel like Charles Manson would have had his together.
Yes.
And would do something like this. But look, everyone is entitled to one mistake in their life, Greg.
It's true.
So we let him go on this, and Star says, the woman says they're going to get another 90-day license and get married. So set your minds at ease, viewers. This will all turn out okay.
Are you going to the
Don't worry
wedding?
about it. I'm hoping to. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Yeah. Oh my God.
Well, now that I know Buddy's in Charlie Manson's movie, I'll go see it.
All right.
Good.
You're going to like this story, Bob.
Yeah.
He got the hook after ordering hookers. The NFL Network has fired analyst Warren Sapp following his arrest for soliciting a prostitute early in the morning after the Super Bowl. Two women told cops they were escorts and that an argument over money turned into a physical altercation. The Hall of Famer admitted to the prostitution charge but denied assaulting them. Last month, another athlete turned analyst, Greg Anthony, was busted for prostitution. The ex-NBA player was suspended indefinitely by CBS. Bob, what do you make of this? Isn't it still crazy that you can get arrested for something that is essentially a transaction between adults?
Absolutely. Listen, I was set up by a bunch of hookers, and it cost me a couple $1 million. Seriously.
Yeah.
And so I was doing I was helping the police. I did undercover. They said, have you ever had a woman? So listen, I don't deny. They said, you know how to solicit a hooker? I said, are you kidding? That's been going on for 20 years. But as a matter of fact, you were the one who said that day on our show. Bob's idea of a long-term date is a second hour. I remember that. Yeah. But no, I think this stuff is just ridiculous. You know, the worst thing is the entrapment. I mean, that's the thing that. When they use female police. Where they find these good-looking police women, I don't know. Graham, I bought my way out of that one night.
Yeah, Graham.
Turns out she was a cop and a hooker. So she took $2,000 and was shut up.
Yeah, it's confusing when strippers dress up as cops. That's what drives me nuts. Graham, should he have been fired? I mean, a private company is allowed to fire people based on their own image, right? I guess.
Well, look, have we not evolved past the point of having a tail?
Yeah.
There should be federal drug farms, including prostitution. You can go check in for a weekend. You can do whatever drugs. You want to gamble, you want to have sex with a woman or a man or something else. That should just be. This is absurd. It's like talking about neighborhood laws in Cairo in 1060. It's just stupid.
It doesn't make any sense.
No, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, Andy?
Did you guys miss the part where he assaulted them?
No.
Who?
No, we're just glazing over it.
I don't care at all that he had a prostitute.
That was talking about the prostitute thing.
Yeah. I care that he allegedly assaulted at least one of them. And it was overpayment. Rule number one, don't hit hookers.
Yeah.
Rule number 2, pay your prosti.
Well, that's the truth.
That's just if you just do those two things, you're fine. Then nobody knows, nobody's the wiser, and you go back to your job the next day.
I forgot about that part. I'm glad you raised it.
Is that what happened?
Yeah. See, we only got past the arrest.
Can I say one thing quickly?
Sure.
Even though I have there's a lot of very, very decent people in that business.
Yeah.
Some of it is actually legit, and a lot of it is disgusting human trafficking. And if it doesn't get stopped, when I found out that my favorite massage parlor was human trafficking, I quit it.
Really?
Yeah.
You are a hero.
I think my contribution to it.
Yes. Joanne?
Listen, the NFL is a great nonprofit.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know why we're always ganging up on them. They do a lot of good.
Yeah.
Okay, and I think he'll get his job back because he was charged with domestic battery in 2010 after a Super Bowl in Florida.
Really?
He was bumped from his NFL appearance. Charges were dropped, and he got his job back.
Well, there you go.
It's like Groundhog Day.
I'd call that an ending, not a happy one. Time to take a break. Find out who's the most admired person when we come back. Not cool. Order at Amazon.com. How to grab coffee.
Are you still promoting that damn thing?
Yes, I am. Paperback's coming out soon. Here's what's on Kennedy tomorrow.
Hey there, fellas. Tomorrow night on Kennedy, our good...
Is Jolie most holy? Brad Pitt's wife is the most admired woman in the world. Sorry, Joanne.
Oh.
For the men, it's Bill Gates. I believe he's the creator of Apple. YouGov, a market research firm, polled 23 companies and scored which humans were most adored. Angelina beat out education activist Malala Yousafzai. That was the young woman who was shot, correct?
Yes. Right.
Hillary Clinton and Queen Elizabeth. Well, billionaire bad boy Gates bested Barack Obama, Chinese President Xi Jinping, and Jackie Chan. Other notable names include Bill Clinton, Oprah, the Pope, Jennifer Lawrence, and, of course, my favorite, Clint Howard. Yeah, that was a big sleeper. All right, let's go around the table. I'll start with you, Bob. Who is your most admirable person? You don't have to say me.
Well, I won't, so you're all right. I tell you, I'm going to be a little serious here. I think that, first of all, Bill O'Reilly got to be one of the most admired people on the Gallup poll. Good job, Bill. They got your Christmas list, didn't they? But I think the people who did Doctors Without Borders, who dealt with Ebola and went over there and risked their lives, those are my heroes.
I think that's a very good choice. Graham, who is your winner?
The young man who intercepted the ball for New England the other day. He's a national hero.
He really is.
He is.
He is.
Awful.
How dare you?
Awful.
He's a rookie in that situation.
I don't care. He's a
What are you, an apologist for the Seattle No, I like chicken? Good American. I hate the New England Patriots.
It's gonna hit you.
Where is he from?
I'm from America, sir. I don't know where you. I don't live in Hollyweird. I live in the real America.
You lived in California for most of your life.
My
Do you know that he worked for the Academy? He worked for the Academy Awards.
Oh my God! The weather's cold. I'm subjected to. Why? Why don't you like the Patriots?
I don't like Satan. It's the same reason.
God bless you. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Joanne.
Thank you very much.
Andy, did you pick anybody?
No, I'm assuming the people who voted for Angelina Jolie haven't seen Unbroken.
Right.
Also, Bob, I prefer doctors with borders. It's easy to be a doctor without borders. To be a doctor and also have borders, that's multitasking.
You have to split your time.
I like doctors at borders. You ever meet a nice MD at the bookstore? It's very nice.
Yeah. And the nice thing about this show finally is coming out. These are two of the funnier people I've run across. You, on the other hand, it's on and off. But they have to listen to the Beckel brothers go back and forth on the most inane subject matter about 40 centuries too late. But anyway.
Joanne, thoughts?
Bill Gates, money. I admire money, for sure. And, okay, our national treasure, our world treasure, Celine Dion,
yes,
was on the list. I think she was about 7th.
Yeah.
I think that we all respond to her music.
True.
Music is a universal language. And I hear she was great in Vegas.
Really?
Yeah, she had a show there for a while.
Matthew McConaughey not on the list. Channing Tatum not on the list.
Wasn't on my list. Who I was most admirable, of course, was my masseuse, Sven. That was him before the tragic accident that involved the baby oil in a ladder. But I admire him for a lot of his work. There's some things I couldn't believe he could do that I forced him to.
Oh, God. The sight of that in my mind just absolutely blew me away.
We're going to have one more story, and it involves a love affair with a dolphin. You got videos of animals, not with dolphins. FoxNews.com/redeye. You can see Joanne on Hannity Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow on Red Eye, we got Ambassador John Bolton and John DeVore. Yes, two favorites.
E-Block. Last story. That's the last story.
This is very, very strange. He got some dolphin tail. A man is seduced by a dolphin in the new documentary Dolphin Lover. In 1971, Malcolm Brenner, I think he's seen here, was working at the Florida Land theme park when Dolly the dolphin began making advances toward him. He says, quote, "At first I discouraged her." I guess this is him. "I wasn't interested. After some time, I thought, if this was a woman, would I come up with these rationalizations and excuses?
Oh, my God.
The movie premiered at Sundance. It chronicles the year-long affair, photos, sexual animation, and I think I'm going to throw up. But that wasn't his only lover. Take a look.
On your back. So all you have to do is come out and lay on your back behind the dolphin. Please take your fins off. They only 6 feet.
So, Graham, lifestyle choice?
And people are complaining about racism in the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. Man, George Carlin was right. We're just circling the drain. This is getting so stupid and so silly.
Are you talking about the show or the story?
I'm talking about the show, the city, the state, the country, and the world, baby. A man with a dolphin is like the cat with the sheep in Woodstock.
By the way, you were at Woodstock, weren't you?
Yeah, I was. I went to commit a homicide.
Yeah. Then you got that bad
No,
acid.
I took a bat with me. I'm glad I didn't catch this.
Didn't you get bad acid?
Who were you going after?
I was going after Eddie Griswold, who my girlfriend. Never. I don't want to talk about it.
Then the Griswold and the Christmas carols.
Was he in the Love and Spoonful?
Oh, God, man. He would have been so dead, and she would have been too. No, come on, man. I will appear as a witness for the defense because she was a serial heartbreaker, seriously.
Oh, it sounded like somebody was jilted.
And I went to Woodstock to kill him.
Wow. So
and her. But I couldn't find them.
So you became an actor instead.
Can we go now?
You're almost done.
Yeah, you're healthy. I'm not ready to die
We
here.
got a minute left.
I got whatever you have.
Hey, let's show. Do we have any? Do we have a scene
What do
from
you
China?
think of that? Of a man with a...
Val, I understand you used to live underground. What made you change your mind?
On each side of the throne, there are 4 living creatures filled with eyes in front and behind.
The same.
Yeah.
You have not changed at all.
That's what he was like when he was 6 years old. What? That was a cheap what? Blame Gutfeld, don't blame me.
It was great.
Really? Graham, no wonder the people follow that thing. That's a cult movie? Could you imagine those people getting together? They'd probably be the wedding party for Charles Manson.
Oh my God, this is gonna go down in the record
don't
books.
surf. Charlie, don't surf. Hey, well, seriously, what do you think of a man and a dolphin? Don't you think that's peculiar?
Slightly.
Don't put it in
Does
the
it
corner.
give you